Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Welcome back to the Freedom Frontier channel. We've been getting ready for our trip to Alaska for the last year. I bought this enclosed travel trailer back in September. And it's going to be used to transport all of our supplies, equipment, and tools. This should keep our stuff safe for the 2,500 mile journey. It's a 16-foot trailer. Its gross vehicle weight is 7,700 pounds with a cargo capacity of 5,000 pounds. We also designed and installed a custom low-profile solar array on the roof.
This band here is also 24-inch on center with that.
The outside edge of this?
Yeah, it's all 24 from here on. But I think what we'd want to do is
And
for
we've
the
got-
first one is to drill a pilot hole up through.
Oh, okay. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th rung is right at the corner here.
Yeah.
From the
Which is 2
edge.
feet. That's 16 feet down to there
Okay.
from the back of the trailer. Exactly 82 inches.
82 inches, so
It's 1 inch thick frame.
okay.
Let's measure the size of the frame just to be
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, we want the thickness of the frame.
Exactly 1 inch.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So it's a 80 inches on the inside, 82 on the outside, 1 inch frame.
Okay, and we're putting solar panels that are 77. Yeah, this will fit. All right, we have all the cross struts installed.
Heaven, don't shoot me down.
How's it going, Ashley?
Going good, cranking away.
We've got 3 panels on so far. 1 more to go. We've got the solar wire coming in through the side wall here. Unterminated cables. And that's the gland there, the entry gland.
Up here we got the goodies. Oh yeah,
Show your bolts.
and that's where I'm working.
Heaven, don't shoot me down.
All right, making progress on the breaker box. So we've got the solar cables coming in through the wall and right into the 20 amp breaker box. Got to tighten these down next. Need to get some cables coming out the bottom and terminate them with some MC4 connectors. We have completed the solar. Inside the trailer, we have the breaker box fully set up. Comes through the wall into the breaker. This thing can flip up. This is on, and that's off. We have around 8 feet of slack. We can, pull this cable over to here or down the trailer. And there we go. Turned out pretty nice, pretty slick. Since the solar array isn't connected to a permanent battery, we're going to be using this Bluetti power station to capture and store all of the energy from the panels. After purchasing the cargo trailer, next was to find a solution for our shelter. We'll need something that can allow us to live on our vacant property while we're developing it. And this is it, a 2018 Jayco Eagle HT bunkhouse model. This sleeps 4 people. We have 3 bunks back here. And over here we have the queen bedroom. It's about 10,000 pounds and 30 feet long. And we also designed and installed a custom solar array for this trailer as well. But the cargo trailer was nothing compared to this. Well, the travel trailer was just delivered, and we're working on getting my hitch ready to tow it to the DMV for registration. We've got 60 psi in the airbags. So the truck is level, and the trailer is level. We've got all the electricity hooked up. Got the chains on. We've got the pin in. Everything's ready to go for the first drive.
Bus bar. Okay. All the fuses are back on.
We're gonna be taking out that mini fridge. And there were boxes back here. We're dropping weight. Those 2 boxes were on the back of the RV. We don't really need them. We've got a cargo trailer. Do you have your multimeter?
It's in the truck. Here's our, you see the flashlight?
Yeah, flashlight's in here.
You could look at underneath the sofa and see if there's any way to take that off.
I don't think it's attached to anything.
I can open the legs and so you can see under it. And
Yeah, I don't think we have enough room today to take out the couch.
just something to investigate. Serious? Are you serious? Both of them are those stupid square things.
All right,
So much better.
we just moved to a new location. This is our new spot over here in the corner. We just moved from over there by the gravel. We used to be directly under the power lines, but we were getting shocked. We talked to the owner of this lot, and he was kind enough to move us over here. No power lines directly above us. We've already felt the trailer chassis, and there's no electrification of anything. So this is going to be our new spot at the storage facility. Yeah, we're just making sure the trailer's level. We just got back from Les Schwab. These 2 tires have new valve stems put on them, so they're not gonna blow when we're on the road. We put a brand new tire on the spare. Yeah, so at this point we're pretty much all done with all of the tire maintenance for this trailer. We're up here on the roof with Matthew. We just got done taking off a whole bunch of different things that are on the roof up here that we're not going to end up needing in Alaska. So there's a couple antennas over here and here, and some satellite dishes. There were still some holes in the roof, so we're just temporarily putting down some duct tape. But for now we're just plugging the holes up so that if it does rain over the next week or so, that our trailer isn't going to be destroyed.
Heaven, don't shoot me down.
Some rain clouds coming in, but we are working on taking off the AC unit. We're going to be going to Home Depot here soon, getting an aluminum plate over this hole. We've got insulation. Dad's down there cutting the aluminum sheet. We have the whole area cleaned off. Going to do some measurements to find some joists. And then we'll be putting the aluminum sheet on and throwing some lap sealant down. We're out here today putting on the super strut onto the roof. Gonna be tapping this thing down a little bit better because the lap seal did not go on too well. We got some screws to hold this down flush. We've been marking out where the joists are so we know where to drill in to secure the struts. Dad and Ashley are punching out the holes for the solar panels. We have 5 out of the 8 columns done. We got 3 more sets of super strut to mount, and then we'll be ready to start installing the rail systems. We got bolts and a washer, and under there is a rubber spacer, so there's a little bit of space under the strut so that water can freely flow down the roof into the gutter. And under the bolt, under the washer, we put some lap sealant so that there's no chance of water getting in there and then down into the roof. So the panels will go between each set of super strut. We're gonna get the rails up here and start mounting things to the struts. And you can see the roof is curved, but we've straightened it out with these rails that have a pivot point here. We got 5 solar panels up there. We got the last one to do over there. We're putting on this final panel here. We're gonna tighten all the bolts down so it's snug. And then we have 2 more panels on the very end that still need to be fully tightened down. And we're gonna just do these last 2 panels for the mounting. And then the goal for this evening is to just get these 2 panels fully wired up. Rink it.
It's gonna be funny, like watching a montage of it all. Right, watching a montage of it all, and we're gonna see the stupid 32 times the 30-second turn wrench action, and we're all gonna be like, oh yeah, that part. Put your legs down. Huh? That's kind of awkward. I'm leaning on the trailer, I'm not going anywhere. Alright, that's that. It's my turn for help. This is still flush. Wee. Almost there. Almost there.
Look what we got here. We have tested out the tilting system of the solar panels. So we're gonna start wiring up things right now. Start plugging things in. These are what the panels look like from the ground. We have 2 of them up at almost max angle. And we have 4 more just sitting down. That looks so cool. So now we're gonna be cutting some wire to hook up these 2 panels, and then we will be out of here. We're doing the final wiring of these last 4 panels. We have 5 panels up because we have to access the wiring under that second panel. So we've got our clippers here, we've got our wire. We're gonna start doing measurements and hooking things up. Well, we're up here, the sun finally came out. Matthew's helping me finish up some lap sealant on that cover that we put up. All 6 panels are now wired up. Have our parallel adapters here. We got each 2 panels each in series by 3. So we got 3 pairs of 2. Turned out good. We have all these zip tied down to the rails. All right, we have all the panels tilted back down. They're all connected. We finished the lap sealant on that aluminum plate that we covered up the AC hole with. Pretty much finishing up here for the day. It's gonna be pretty much the last time we're up here on the roof. Making sure all the bolts are tightened down. These panels are very secure when you try to wiggle them, so we should be able to drive down the road and not have any problems. We got these red and black cables terminated with MC4 connectors. We are currently working on drilling some holes for the wires to run through. Well, we just stopped by Home Depot and we got 50 feet of 6'3", 6 gauge 3 wires with ground. We're ready to wire up the travel trailer. Gonna be running this wire from the breaker box into under the bed. We have all of the cabling run into the bedroom. We have solar wire going down through that hole right there. And the wire runs from there down there. Goes down into the breaker room, down the hole. Then under the trailer, right out up there, goes along, and then it cuts across the trailer. And we just pulled the cabling up. You can see it. Comes from under the trailer. And we've got a good 4 feet of slack, so we've got more than enough. And we've started laying out where the inverter goes, where the battery goes, where the charge controller goes, and all of the breakers. The breaker box is rewired. So we have all the necessary breakers on leg 2, so on the right-hand side of the breaker box. We've made some progress already. It's pretty cramped back here. That's probably the hardest part about working on this project. Cable coming out of the floor, wired directly into a 50 amp AC breaker. We've got the black wire capped off, and we have the load and the neutral going into the correct side of the breaker. This is the load side, this is the neutral side. Have the solar cable plugged into a 30 amp breaker, DC breaker, and then right into the PV ports. Got red and black. Alright, we are moments away from having everything up and running here. We've got the smart shunt connected to both negative from the inverter and negative from the charge controller going through this breaker here. We have the positive from the charge controller already connected to the battery using the appropriately gauged cable. We've got 6 gauge cable here, and we're running 2-AUG to the inverter. So all we have to do is run one more red cable from this breaker up to the battery, and another black cable from this side of the shunt up to the black battery terminal. Almost there. We are stripping the very last battery cable, and we're going to be installing these copper lugs with some heat shrink. Well, the inverter has been powered on. We are currently charging this battery at 30 amps at 55 volts. So it's around 1600 watts going into the battery right now. And then the trailer itself is using about 500 watts to run the furnace and all the lights. It has a maximum charging amperage of 35 amps at 48 volts, and we're pushing it up to 30. So we're going to be running some various stress tests and depleting the energy in our power station and dumping it all into this internal battery that we have here. This used to be at 30 amps, but now we're at 17. And the fan on the inverter has started to slow down as well. We have the AC circuit on, charging the 12 volt system, so this AC out is still several hundred watts. And we're pulling 1300 watts from the power station outside. %left. We only have 1 week left before we leave. In the next episode, I'll go over the plans and vision for my property in Alaska. Stay tuned.